Psychology, why you always feel not good enough. A familiar trap of the mind. 1. Tonight feels a little heavy. Hi, you. If you're playing this video at 1 a.m. maybe, something inside you is stirring. Maybe today didn't go the way you hoped. Maybe you've been trying so hard, and still feel like, you're not enough. Or maybe, you just don't feel okay. I'm not here to fix you. I just want to sit with you for a while. And gently share a few thoughts. About a feeling that's very real, yet often brushed aside. Why do I always feel like I'm not good enough? 2. A child who just wanted to be seen. Do you remember the first time you felt like you weren't as good as someone else? Maybe it was in a classroom, when you didn't have the right answer. And someone looked at you in that quiet, piercing way. That made you shrink a little inside. Maybe you brought home a grade of 8 out of 10, and the grown-ups said, why not a 10? And just like that, you learned, only when I do better, do I deserve more love. That feeling doesn't vanish when you grow up. It grows with you, and shapes the way you see yourself. You begin to believe, I need to be smarter, kinder, prettier, more successful. Just to be worthy of love, or simply allowed to stay. 3. When love comes with conditions. Love isn't always gentle. Sometimes, we grow up in homes filled with laughter. But missing one vital thing, unconditional acceptance. If you were only praised when you achieved something, only celebrated when you made people proud. You may have started to believe, my worth lies in what I do, not in who I am. And so, you carried that belief into your adult life. You push yourself. You don't dare to rest. You constantly feel, not enough. But maybe, just maybe, there's still a small version of you, deep inside, still waiting for someone to say, you don't have to earn love. You are enough, just by being here. 4. Achievements as armor for self-doubt. Have you ever noticed how even after achieving something, the joy fades so quickly? And then you feel like, you have to do even more. For many people, success is a point of pride. But for you, maybe, it's a kind of armor. A way to hide the fear that you're not good enough inside. You've learned to be capable, strong, independent, not just for growth, but to protect yourself from the feeling of being unseen, unworthy. And then, you grow tired. But you can't stop. Because deep down, you fear that without success, you'll be nothing. 5. You're not lazy, you're exhausted. How many times have you blamed yourself for lying in bed all day, doing nothing? You call yourself lazy. Others might say the same. But I don't think you are. You're not lazy. You're exhausted. Exhausted from having to always be okay. From always needing to try, to prove, to show up, to smile. You're tired to the point your body shuts down. Your mind goes silent. Don't scold yourself for being still. Take a moment and ask, how much have you been carrying, alone and in silence? 6. Your mind is a harsh coach. Try sitting in silence for a few minutes, just listening to the voice in your head. You'll probably realize something, it's rarely kind to you. That wasn't good enough. Why did you say that? You sounded stupid. You're such a failure. Sound familiar? You've been living with an inner coach. One that's demanding, critical, and never satisfied. What's heartbreaking is, you believe that voice is the truth. But it's not. It's just an echo of past judgments you've absorbed. At some point, you were trained not to believe in your own worth. And now, you've become your own worst critic. 7. When comparison becomes a reflex. Did you know? The human brain automatically compares. Not to hurt you, but to help you orient yourself in the world. But in the age of social media, where people only show their highlight reels, you slowly begin to believe, I'm the only one who's struggling. You see others succeeding, laughing, glowing, while you are just trying to make it through the day, barely able to get out of bed, crying quietly in the middle of the night for no clear reason. Comparison becomes a habit. And that habit begins to eat away at your self-worth. You forget that, no one posts their breakdowns. No one livestreams their sobbing in the bathroom. 8. The trap of constant self-improvement. It's easy to feel bad about yourself, even when you're trying so hard to be better every day. You read books, learn new skills, journal your gratitude, practice self-care, stay productive, and still feel like you're not doing enough. You might wonder, what am I doing wrong? Maybe, nothing at all. Maybe you've just fallen into a quiet kind of trap. The culture of self-improvement teaches you that you're always a work in progress. But it rarely tells you this: you deserve love, even if you never improve another thing. 9. Has anyone ever loved you just for being you? Do you remember the last time someone told you, you are wonderful, just because you are? Not because of your achievements. Not because of your looks. Not because you were strong, kind, or useful. Just because you exist. Maybe it's been a long time. Maybe it's never happened. We grow up in a world full of conditions. You're loved when you behave. You're praised when you achieve. So you start to hide the most human parts of yourself. The soft, messy, fragile pieces. The ones that need love the most are the first ones you try to cover up. 10. Some friendships make you feel smaller. Not every relationship is kind. Not every person who calls you friend makes you feel seen. You've probably had friends who always shared their victories, but never asked if you were truly okay. You've laughed at group dinners, only to go home and feel lonelier than before you arrived. Some friendships make you perform. Make you seem fine. Make you feel like you need something impressive to say. Just to belong. You're not wrong for feeling tired. You're simply realizing this truth: the right friendships are the ones where you can be your full self and still feel loved. 11. There's nothing wrong with your body. How many times have you looked in the mirror and quietly torn yourself apart? I look awful. I'm so fat. Why can't I look like them? But listen. There's nothing wrong with your body. What's broken is the standard. A standard shaped by filters, ads, algorithms. Not reality. Your body is your home. The place that carries you, holds your heart, gets you through each day. Even when you mistreat it. You don't have to look like anyone else. You only need to stop fighting yourself. Because healing doesn't grow from a place of self-hate. 12. When you don't know what you're good at. What are you really good at? Such a simple question. But it might leave you speechless. Maybe you've never been truly recognized. Maybe you've tried, but your efforts were always dismissed. Maybe you've just been surviving, doing what's needed, without ever being asked, what brings you joy? Not everyone has to be extraordinary. Not everyone has a burning passion. Sometimes, it's enough to simply find something that brings you a little peace. You don't have to shine to be worthy. You are lovable, even on your quietest, most uncertain days. 13. You're not broken, you're surviving. Some days, you can't get out of bed. Some nights, you cry for no reason. There are moments you wish you could disappear. Not to make anyone worry, but just because you're so tired. You blame yourself. You whisper, I'm such a mess. But here's the truth, you're not broken. You're surviving. You've lived through things no one knows about. You've carried invisible weights. And still, you're here. Still breathing. Still trying. No one sees the storms you've weathered. But I hope you know, right now, you're allowed to feel tired. And you don't have to earn your worth. 14. There's a kind of enough that doesn't need more. You're used to pushing. Used to setting goals, checking boxes, reaching milestones. You tell yourself, if I just try a little harder, maybe then I'll feel like I'm enough. But enough doesn't come from achievement. It doesn't come from praise or titles or applause. Enough comes from letting go. From quiet dinners. From watching sunsets without needing to capture them. From taking a breath and realizing you don't have to prove anything today. You're allowed to go slow. You're allowed to be content without doing more. 15. You don't need to be perfect to be loved. And finally, there's something I hope you never forget: you don't need to be perfect. You don't have to always be strong. You don't have to be cheerful all the time. You don't have to be impressive to deserve love. You can be soft. You can be tired. You can cry yourself to sleep sometimes. And still be worthy. You don't need to fix yourself to be lovable. You don't need to earn belonging. If no one has ever said this to you before, then let me say it now: you are not broken. You are learning how to live as your truest self, and that is enough.